All right, we're going to move from that to Haiti. And if you remember, if you were watching us as we were trying to tell the story as best we could of what was happening in Haiti, we talked often with Margaret Aguirre from International Medical Corps, who, a former journalist working with the IMC, the International Medical Corps. She was one of the first responders in Haiti, and I am getting to meet her for the first moment here. I feel like I know you so well from talking to you on the phone.
Thank you.
How are you? Thank you for coming in.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's really nice to be here. Nice to be back.
I get to give you a welcome home.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys have been great.
You guys have been great. Your organization is all over the world responding to things. Some less dramatic, some as dramatic. But this one really comes home for us. You go to Haiti.
Right.
You get there. First thing you see is what?
Well, the first night we got in about 5 o'clock, so it was still light. And we were driving into the city. And initially I thought, the damage doesn't look so bad here so far. And then as we got into Port-au-Prince, it was building after building after building completely collapsed. And as night fell, our car lights would fall onto the rubble, and it was just horrific. And bodies were lining the roads, and people were carrying the wounded.
How you've been in other areas. You've been where terrible things have happened. But the idea that bodies are lining the road, that has to be hard to take in, to understand.
Yeah, I think, you never really fully prepare for what you see. And I have to say, I've never seen so many dead bodies in one place. And literally the walking wounded, people carrying other people to wherever they could find to get them some kind of help. And, we arrived in this hotel to drop off our gear and get to work. And we get there, and there are about 150 people outside the hotel needing all sorts of medical care, people with amputations already. And so we got to work almost immediately right outside our hotel room.
And how is the support coming in? Are you getting a lot of support, more than expected maybe?
Yeah, actually, people have been incredible. And, what I try to describe to people is, getting relief in is kind of like a hose that's wound up, and you turn on the water. It doesn't immediately come out water. It has to kind of unfurl, and that's how it's been. The first days, we brought in supplies, but
couldn't get them out there.
Yeah, and a lot of planes couldn't land initially, but within about 2 days, we had our own planes landing. We've probably received about $15 million in gift in kind, pharmaceuticals, medical supplies, water, food, that kind of thing. So it is coming in, but it was a little bit slow in the beginning just because electricity was out. It was hard for planes to land, but it is coming in.
Margaret, if it had happened here in Los Angeles, it would have been really problematic.
Yeah.
It happened in Haiti, where the infrastructure was very vulnerable to begin with, where they had already gone through these disasters of hurricanes, etc. We're going to move on from Haiti. You know how it happens. You've been in the media. You know what it is. We focus on it, and then the cameras move. We go on to the next story.
Right.
Haiti remains afterwards. The hope is that something good will come from this for the benighted country of Haiti.
Right.
You just compare Haiti to the Dominican Republic, and it lags behind. Is that going to happen?
I think so. And in a lot of ways, Haiti was in recent years starting to make a lot of strides forward in terms of healthcare and infrastructure. And so it's sad that this happened when it did, but I think it's really an opportunity for us to rebuild the infrastructure. And, International Medical Corps is a training organization, so we're working with local Haitian doctors and nurses. The whole point is to build the infrastructure so that when we do leave someday, that infrastructure is there for them to take care of themselves.
Now, how are you?
How am I?
You were one of the first people to get in.
Yeah. I'm doing fine. I have to say it's very difficult to leave because once you leave, you feel like you can't continue to help and you want to be there. My colleagues are still on the ground. There are a lot of people, patients and people who say, give me your number, I want to know where you are and want to stay in touch. And so you do kind of feel that pull and you want to be there.
Let me tell you how folks can help, by the way. The International Medical Corps, IMC, one thing you do need, you need donations all the time.
Yep, we do.
And so you can't necessarily give them water or food or medical stuff, but you can make donations. And so you can look them up, or you can go to myfoxla.com, and we'll have the IMC there if you want to help and give. And by the way, it grades very well by all those vetting organizations. So I want people to know that. Do you feel a little scared now about what to... Yes.
I was even there. Like when we were donating, we're like, okay, which is the best place? Where do you go? I mean,
Right, and you can even text on your mobile phone. Text Haiti to 85944 and pick a $10 donation. It goes to 85944.
Okay.
Text Haiti.